Hi everyone. I hope good. We're live. We're on air. Hi Zachary, joining from Okinawa. Nice to meet you. My name's Susanna, and I'm part of the Entrepreneur First team in London. Apologies for the fuzzy camera. We're having to do this out of a meeting room in our London office. So I'm currently at the Biscuit Factory, and this is a way for us to basically be able to provide answers to a lot of questions that people may have, and we are able to provide a one-to-one coffee time. So I do encourage you to ask as many questions as possible and be able to make this as interactive as possible as well. So I will start by explaining a little bit about Entrepreneur First. So please go ahead and type in any questions that you may have on the comment section. I'm getting a message that the video is frozen now. Just a second while I I'm not sure if you can see it now, Zachary, or if should can the issue. I hope everyone can see me now. Is it better now? Perfect. Is it better now for everyone? I'm just going to type it out. Just waiting to see that everyone is on the same page. I'm sorry that my voice is a little bit low. I'm currently a little bit under the weather, so I'm hoping that this is okay. Brilliant. So please ask as many questions as you want. I want this section to be as interactive as possible. I can explain a little bit about EF and also answer direct questions. I saw Rahul removed his question. I can see Rahul remove his question. I'm not sure why, but we will continue anyway. So, oh, hi from Argentina as well. Wonderful. So please, again, ask as many questions as possible. I'm happy to answer. This is what the session is for. So I guess until you guys have particular questions, I will start by talking a little bit about Entrepreneur First and what we do. So Entrepreneur First has currently 6 locations. We're excited to say that we are now in Bangalore as well. So our other locations are Paris, Berlin, Hong Kong, Singapore, London, and of course our 6th location that we just announced yesterday is Bangalore. Rahul asks from India, currently researching cancer diagnosis. I want to EF platform. How can I proceed with? I'm assuming you're asking how can you proceed with EF as the incubator for you. Our process is quite straightforward. It starts with an application form online. It should take you about 45 minutes to complete, where we assess the kind of things that you have built and the kind of things that you have done. Off the back of that, we will then invite you to an interview to assess your insights and to assess your knowledge of what you want to build. and we will make you an offer off of that. Gareth Griffiths asks, at each of the locations, are you looking for local people or can others apply? Anyone from anywhere can apply to any of our EF locations. We provide in London and in all of European locations, as well as in Singapore and Hong Kong. We provide entrepreneurial visas to give the opportunity for founders from anywhere in the world to come and join us at EF. I hope that was clear. If I am answering a question and it's not 100% clear, please let me know. I am happy to re-explain or use different words to explain the answer. James asks, when you are assessing what you have built or done, what are you looking for? We just want to know, for example, if you have been in academia for the past 10 years, what have you been working on? Those are basically the things that we want to know. I hope that answers the question, James. So we look for founders before they are founders. So we are not looking for you to have built a $10 million company before joining EF. We're not looking for you to have done 10,000 things before. We are looking to assess your skills and how basically involved you are in what you're trying to do. I have a question. Should I be working on an MVP before applying? It depends. It's up to you. You can be working on an MVP if it's something that you've already been working on for years and you have an MVP that you want to apply with. That's fantastic. But again, having an idea or having a product is not a criteria to join EF. We pride ourselves in finding founders that are pre-team and pre-idea, meaning you don't need to have a company, you don't need to have an idea before joining EF. I hope that's a little bit clear. Amit asks, number 1, how long is the program? 2, do we need to come with a fully baked idea? So the long-winded answer to the first part is the program lasts for 6 months. So the program is divided in 2 parts, what we call EF Form and what we call EF Launch. On EF Form, which is approximately 14 to 16 weeks, this is the part where we will help you find a co-founder and develop an idea. What do we mean by helping you find a co-founder? Every 6 months, at each of our locations, we gather 100 of the most brightest, most intelligent people we can find that we believe have found the potential to build a company. We look for 4 things. You should be smart, you should be skilled, you should be committed, and most of all, you should be insightful. So during Form, when those 14 to 16 weeks, when you come in, you will be encouraged to find a co-founder from among those 99 other people that are part of EF, meaning you will find someone who has complementary skills to your own. And we won't actively match you up because only you know what you don't know, and only you know who is the best person to work on your idea with. So during the first 3 months or so, you will be finding your co-founder and developing your idea. And how we help you develop your idea is based on what we call your personal edge. So your personal edge is what we believe is what gives you an unfair advantage over someone else in the world, be it your 10 years in industry, 10 years in academia, or looking at a problem the way no one else is looking at. So your edge is going to be basically your superpower, where we will help you develop your idea from there. So that is EF Form. Once you have validated your team, usually there are teams of 2. So once you have validated your team and validated your idea, you will take that little kernel of an idea. It's not a business plan, it's not an MVP, it's a kernel of an idea, as I like to call it, and you will apply to the second part, which we call EF Launch. And in EF Launch, you will then be funded what historically has been £80,000 in London, the equivalent in Berlin, in Paris, Hong Kong, Singapore, and in Bangalore, to then develop your idea and gain traction, maybe develop an MVP and be as demo day ready as possible. Because at the end of EF launch, which lasts another 3 months, we will present you in front of about 300 seed investors and let you pitch your idea to them. Just to give you a little bit of statistics, about 70% of EF companies that pitch at demo day are funded by external seed funders besides ourselves. In contrast, Y Combinator, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Y Combinator, has only 30% of their companies being backed by external seed funders. It's quite a big discrepancy. We also don't necessarily build companies exactly like Y Combinator, so there's a bit of a discrepancy there. But I can confidently say that we are the most externally seed funded incubator in Europe. So I think that's a pretty fair claim. So this is basically what happens, a short version of what happens during the program for the 6 months. So EF form, EF launch. I guess I should start by answering a few of the questions that you guys have. Hi, James. James, who's in Berlin. Gareth asks, at each of the locations, are you looking for local people or can others apply? I think I've answered that you can apply literally from anywhere, from Johannesburg to Mumbai. You can apply for any of the locations. Right now, Bangalore is a little bit closer to Mumbai than coming to Paris, but it's also an option for you to apply to whichever location you want. James Henderson also asks, when you are assessing what we have built or done, what are you looking for? I think I've covered that as well. The MVP question, I believe I have covered as well. Please ask me if you need me to repeat any of the questions. Amit asked, how long is the program? So that was my long-winded question of how long is the program. The short answer is 6 months. And do we need to come with a fully baked idea for that? And the short answer is no, you don't need a fully baked idea. You need, again, 4 things: smart, skilled, committed to starting a company, and to be insightful. So no, we pride ourselves in being pre-team and pre-idea. We look for founders before they are founders. We even pay a stipend to our founders during the form part of the program, because we want to be able to support our founders from at every step of the way. EF is quite intense, is quite a full-time job, basically. So we pay a stipend to help our entrepreneurs, if they need to relocate, to not worry about having to keep the lights on while they're developing their idea. Max, hello, Max. Max asked, what is the curriculum of EF form? I.e., in what setting do accepted individuals interact with the rest of the cohort to form teams? We have dedicated offices for you to be with your cohort. For example, in London, we are, if you're familiar with London at all, we're at the Biscuit Factory. In Paris, we are at Station F. In Berlin, we are at the factory, and we have dedicated spaces. So in London, we have a full building that is dedicated to the cohort. So it's free space for the cohort to work. It is where you're going to work on your ideas, where you're going to meet the rest of the cohort and sort of date, per se, to find your co-founder. It's also where we will once a week or twice a week, in some cases, deliver what we call the EF education, meaning all of the things that we have learned over the past 7 years that have enabled us to help build over 170 companies. So we will pass all of that information to you, meaning the information that we believe you will need to build a successful company. I hope that answers your question, Max. If it doesn't, please let me know in the comment section. Max also asks, is it always teams of 2? Initially, yes, you need to be in a team. and it's initially two. Some cases have been that once you get to EF launch, co-founders decide to bring in two more people that maybe did not get into EF launch and becomes a team of three or a team of four. But initially, you need to be in a team to develop your idea, because it's fair to say that one person doesn't know everything that they need to know. And having a co-founder is one of the most critical things to starting a globally important company. Another question by Muta. I hope I'm saying that correct. What is the typical standard of somebody who gets accepted into the program? So the typical standard of the person that gets accepted into the program, it's usually, because we help build deep tech companies, and and what do I mean by deep tech? I mean companies that are backable because of the technology that they were able to create. Unless you develop a whole new business model and basically reinvent business as it is, we focus mostly on tech individuals who are building new technologies. Therefore, the types of people that usually come into the program are, we get a lot of PhDs, we get a lot of master's degrees who have a certain level of skill in a particular technology, be it machine learning, AR, VR, IoT, whatever it may be. On the other hand, we also get a lot of domain experts, people who have industry expertise in a particular area and know exactly what are the problems that afflict their industry and what problems they want to solve. So there's definitely two types of people, but again, for criteria is you have to be definitely smart and definitely skilled. I hope that answers the question, and if there's again any confusion, please let me know. Liam Mickelson asks, how many companies proceed from form to launch? So about 50% of individuals get into launch, meaning that per location, it can be anywhere from 16 to about 25 teams that get into launch. That being said, we are fully ready to back 50 teams. We gather 100 individuals, and we're fully ready to back 50 teams. But it's not always the case, and of course, it's not always possible to back all the teams, because even though we believe in every single individual, not every idea is the best idea, to sort of put it in short. I hope that answers your questions, Leon. Ari asks, do you support people who are further along, i.e. new startups already in product R&D? We used to support a lot of these startups in launch, in the launch phase. But because at the moment we are in 6 locations, we prefer to put all of our resources and all of our team efforts in helping the individuals that have started with EF from the start. If you want to come with an idea that you want to redevelop, sure, but we usually don't take in we usually do not take in startups that have already incorporated and are already further along and have already raised from other investors. James asks, if you have a defined idea already and understanding of your edge and are designing your MVP, will you move faster through the form stage? The short answer is yes, but again, nothing is 100% guaranteed. You have formed your idea, you understand your edge, but you also need to take into consideration that you're going to come in and be surrounded by 99 incredibly intelligent people that will poke holes at your idea day in and day out. And this is how you're going to find your co-founder. If your idea is absolutely foolproof, then you're gonna be great at finding someone who wants to work on it. But it's it's again never 100% guaranteed that your idea is going to be it. Your idea can, because of this environment, that's this very intense environment that you're going to be in, your idea can 10x. I'm happy to send some literature and some videos on people who have come into the program knowing their edge, knowing their idea, but not even knowing that it would be possible to make it 10 times bigger than they initially came up with. So yes, I would say that you would definitely move faster in finding a co-founder and expanding your idea because you already know exactly what you want to work on. So short answer, yes. Anurag asks, is it mostly PhD / post MBA candidates to get into the program from the typical cohort demographics? I wouldn't say mostly, but yes, we do get a lot of PhDs. Again, we get a lot of people who are from industry and have a skill. Again, to be skilled and to be smart, you don't need to have a PhD. And we assess for those things. It is just that, again, because we help people build deep tech companies, again, companies that are backable by the technology that they create, usually is a lot of PhDs who have been in lab and want to commercialize their research. That being said, commercialize being the operative word here, you, as a technical person, sometimes you need a commercial person, and this is where the domain experts will come in. So again, post MBAs or somebody who's been in a particular industry for a very long time. Sorry, I just need to grab some water. I hope that answers the question. Again, if it wasn't sure, please let me know. Yes, James, I hope you 10x as well. Please let me know which cohort that you're planning to join, either Paris or Hong Kong or wherever it may be. Zachary asks, can a team skip the EF form phase if we already have a team and go straight to EF launch phase? I covered that before. You can't at the moment skip launch anymore unless you have a wonderful team that is completely all your ducks in row. But at the moment, we focus all of our efforts on the teams that we help develop from scratch. Excuse me. So we focus all of our efforts on that, because you may have already incorporated a company, you have may have already raised, and these are things that most of our teams have not gone through, or most of the people that come into the program have not gone through, so much that we have a funding team that also helps entrepreneurs post demo day raise their funds by connecting them to the best possible investors for them, by again making in the correct introductions to our investor network, meaning that it would be very, very difficult for us to help a company that's already fully and absolutely formed. I hope that answers the question, Zachary. Raul asks again, what do you see in an applicant while interviewing? So what we assess in an applicant in interview are mostly their insights and their founder potential. Also their commitment to starting a company. If usually the teams are composed of CEOs and CTOs, someone who can deliver the vision and someone who has the vision. So in interview, we are assessing your insights, we are assessing your founder potential, which we already see on paper, but we want to see it in person. And we try to assess what your insights are. How do you look at problems and how do you look at solving them? I hope that's a little bit clear, Raul. Leon asks, how do you decide which teams move forward to launch phase? Is there a particular criteria? Who makes this decision? Those are very good questions. We decide by looking at how much traction do teams have had. We, again, have about 7 years experience in this, building an enormous amount of companies. So when you apply to launch, we have a series of venture partners that evaluate your idea, evaluate how much traction you were able to get doing form, how are you looking at your problem? If you have any customers, if you figure out how your problem is going to develop and evolve in the real world, or how your solution is going to develop and evolve in the real world. So these venture partners are people who have built companies themselves, have sold companies, have incredible experience in venture capitalism and in the startup industry. Meaning that they will also be your mentors once you get into launch. They will also be your mentors in helping you develop the first steps of your company. So those are the people that make the initial decision. We have a little bit of a system when you're applying to launch. So you decide which venture partners you want to work with, depending on your idea and what sector you're working on, and they will decide um, which teams that they want to work with. But as a group, the our CEOs, CTOs, in conjunction with our venture partners, and looking for things that investors would want to see in a company at that stage, will make the decision of who gets the funding and goes into launch. I hope that was clear, Leon. Hi, Chris. Chris asks, do you support tangible products that require tech to be researched and produced, specifically biotech food, or is it purely digital products? Short answer is yes. We support companies and products that require some research. In our Singapore office, for example, we just negotiated a contract where we were able to gather some lab space and time at a lower rate for you to do your research. So this is what your £80,000 in London, at least, will go towards you doing a little bit of research. So if you look at our website and look at our companies, we have plenty of companies that are not just purely digital companies. Ari, hi Ari. Ari asks, does EF take equity in a startup formed through the program? The short answer is yes. The long answer would be, so if you go through EF form and you find a co-founder and develop a company, we will then take what has been 5% of equity in your company. If you then go on to launch and we fund you, we will then take another 5%. So it will be a total of 10% of equity. But then again, the 5% is for the stipend that we pay you, helping you find a co-founder, and all of the support and education that we give you to go ahead and develop your idea. And let me just make it clear, when I say education, EF is not a school. You're not required to be there full time. You can work at other spaces. We're not going to hold your hand, but we're definitely going to give you all the tools that we find imperative for you to start a company. So for that part, we'll take 5%, and the 80K and the support of our VPs will come with another 5%. So in total, it will be 10% of equity that EF will have. But we will never hold a seat at your company, meaning a board seat. We will never have any influence. It will be a silent 10%. I hope that was clear, Ari. Martin asks, I'm part of a team working on a blockchain project. We're working on the MVP as well as looking for seed investors. Can we apply to EF if we have a business plan but don't have money to develop it? Yes, you can apply to EF. If you are in a team already and you haven't incorporated a company, my best advice would be to apply as individuals. And we will, of course, we will take into consideration that you've applied with a co-founder, but we definitely encourage you to apply as individuals, and we will assess each of you as individuals. And when you both, or the three of you, get into the program, you're more than welcome to continue working on your idea or finding a different co-founder. So that would be my best advice if you already have a team and haven't incorporated a company. Max says they're still confused about how teams are formed doing EF form, just by meeting them in a coffee corner or their presentation skills, backgrounds of the individual. So we have what we call our dashboard, where once you get into the cohort, you basically write a little short bio of yourself. What are you looking for in a co-founder? What are the things that you want to build? What is your expertise? And from that, you're encouraged to then go chat with those people, have coffee with them, kind of work with them for a week, see if it works. If not, please break up that team. I should also mention we have a big culture of breaking up if your team is not working. When it's not gaining traction, is not working well, break up, move on to the next person. We also have some speed dating rounds where you get a chance to chat to everybody, but we won't actively say Max is a machine learning expert and he goes with Martin because he is also a machine learning expert. They're gonna work great. It's up to you to go and make those connections and decide that you want to work with this person or not. I hope that's a little bit clear. If not, please let me know. Martin says you are 6 co-founders. It is 6 people that need to apply as individuals. And if you all get in, then you're more than welcome to continue working on your idea. And if not, then some of you will get in and maybe continue working the idea on the program and bring in new co-founders later, or however it is that you want to sort of play it. But EF is a individual focus program. I'm sorry, not individual, but it is a talent focused program. We focus on what you can build and what your skills are. Hence why we like people to have co-founders and why we find it imperative for you to have a co-founder. But once you come into EF, it's because you are particularly well suited to build a tech company. Raul asked, what is the visa process if I apply for Hong Kong? I'm not sure where you are, Raul, but it would be as soon as you get in, you will work with our legal team in Hong Kong to support you in all the paperwork and getting your visa. I hope that was a little bit clear. Guys, please keep the questions coming. Let me know if there's anything I haven't answered. I should emphasize, or I should just let you all know, the stipend that we give to our founders are in London are usually £2,000, in around Europe around 2,000 euros, and it also, I believe in Singapore, is 5,000 Singaporean dollars. Don't quote me on that, but they're all basically equally the same thing. You're welcome, Martin. Hope it was helpful. Max says, I think I know my edge, and I know which of the EF locations are hotspots for this and which ones are not. Would you encourage me to apply for one or the other? If I may ask, Max, what is your edge? Just one word. So I can say that some locations are better suited for some things than others. For example, we expect our Hong Kong location to produce a lot of hardware products just because of the proximity to Shenzhen. Synthetic biology, I would say Max, London or Berlin would be amazing for you. Not that Singapore or Hong Kong wouldn't, but just from history, we've seen a lot of progression on the synthetic biology field. It's particularly in London and also in Berlin. But again, all of our locations would be well suited to support you in synthetic biology. But I would encourage London or Berlin, but mostly London. I'm a bit biased as well because I'm in London. Any other particular questions that I didn't get to, guys? Raul asked if healthcare hardware product concern then. We don't have any concerns for hardware or for any particular industry. There's a misconception that EF, for example, does not support consumer companies. We very much support consumer companies. The only difference is that because of the let's take Instagram, for example. Instagram is only a huge company because they were able to pinpoint a change in consumer behavior at that particular point in time. Being at EF for 6 months, where the first part of the program you're worried about finding a co-founder and developing your idea. 6 months is an extremely short time to figure out a huge change in consumer behavior that will propel your company forward. That being said, when we talk about healthcare and hardware is hard to say the least, because for investors to get into it, it takes time for you to develop a project and etc. Doesn't mean that we don't do hardware and we won't support hardware. We definitely will support hardware and etc. I can send you all a video of our last demo day. We had plenty of hardware companies. It's just the way that you play it. But we've seen a lot, for example, in Singapore, of healthcare hardware companies, and I expect to see a lot as well in Bangalore. We have not been shy of it in London as well. It's just where the demo, what people want to build in each location. Max asked about the application deadline in Berlin. I couldn't tell you exactly what the application deadline in Berlin is, but I can definitely tell you that it should probably be the same all around in Europe, which would be December 31st. I hope that's a bit clear, guys. Please keep any questions coming. If there's anything I haven't gotten to, I'm going to send out some links on your emails with a demo day video. Some of you may have read our piece on Edge and why we focus on Edge and how ideas are developed. I can send you all some examples of domain experts that have done the program, of tech experts that have or tech edges as we call them, that have done the program, various types of people if anybody's interested, and also the application form so you can all get acquainted with it. But please let me know again if there's anything I haven't picked up or haven't answered. If not, I am very, very glad that you all were able to join. I know some of you are up very late. Raul asked if the interview be face to face or if there's provision online. Depends on where you are, but we always do online interviews. That's not a problem for us at all. So if you're far away and you need, for example, a visa to come into the country, we will do a Skype interview without a problem. We have 9 people watching now, a little bit of a decrease from before. Again, guys, if there's anything I did not answer, anything I forgot, please do let me know. I will again send all of you some links with all of the things that I spoke about, some of our edges, and as well there's an amazing piece on how we view ambition and entrepreneurship by our CEO and co-founder Matt, the ideas piece by Alice, things that will help you understand a bit better of how EF works. And if something wasn't particularly clear, please shoot me an email. I can put you in touch with someone nearest to you. Singapore will be having a actual open office next week, the 25th. So that is on Eventbrite. If you search for that, Paris should have an open office coming up soon as well. Oh, some more questions. Wonderful. James asks, how long after the application do we typically hear back? So the application process should last about from submitting the application to receiving a final answer post-interview. It will be no more than 3 weeks. Usually closer to the deadline, we receive a huge amount of applications. Therefore, we will be a little bit more swamped. So it could be maybe a month, but it will be no more than 3 weeks until you hear from us to come for an interview and get your offer. Hi, Shane. Shane asks about the matching process. I covered this in the beginning, but I think you just logged in, Shane. We don't actually match anyone up. We have, as you come in, we have a dashboard where you input basically your superpowers and who you are, what kind of things are you trying to build, what's your expertise on, and it's then up to you to go and find people in your cohort that you want to start a company with. It's up to you to initiate the conversation and vice versa. In London, for example, we're in Bermondsey, as I said before, at the Biscuit Factory. We have a full building, which is free working space, where you come in and are able to chat with everyone in your cohort and see if they're the right fit for you. So we learn very, very early on that the best way to let smart people be smart is just by letting them be and letting them find each other. Fantastic, Shane. I know you just popped in, Shane. Please let me know if you have any more questions. I was just saying that I will definitely be emailing everyone. Sorry about the noises and alerts coming in through my computer. I'll be emailing everyone with some thought pieces that we have. If you haven't gotten around to um, to looking at it, we have an amazing uh, website that has all of our posts. Videos. We host a bunch of events. Last week we had, not last week, a couple of weeks ago, we had Joseph Lubin, who's one of the co-founders of Ethereum and also the founder of Consensus, a new fund for blockchain companies. He came and did a talk for our cohort. We've had Arlen Hamilton from the US, who is the founder of Backstage Capital, come in and talk to our cohort. So you can find all those videos on that link and some of our thought pieces. But I'll definitely be sending this out for all of you guys to get better acquainted with EF as well. Again, guys, if there's no more questions, please, again, if there's something I haven't covered or if there's something that's particularly burning inside your chest, shoot me an email. I hope and believe that all of you have received an email from me. Like I was saying, Singapore has an open office. I actually can link that right now. Singapore is having an open office next week, maybe not next week, the 25th. So I encourage you, if you're in Singapore and want to meet the team there, have an in-person chat with someone from the team there, I encourage you to go over and chat with them. Again, Paris should be having uh, um, an open office as well soon. I can link to that as soon as they have that all set up. I believe Berlin as well. Bangalore just opened this past Monday, so the applications are good and live for Bangalore. Anybody in India that wishes to join the first ever cohort of EF Bangalore, I encourage you to apply. If there is anyone that you guys think should be doing EF and is not doing, I encourage you to refer them. Shoot me an email with their name. Let us know how amazing they are. I think I have a form as well for referrals that I can link to that. If there's anyone that you guys think it's amazing that should be joining EF, please let me know. Here, brilliant. Here is the referral type form, and I hope this was helpful for everyone. If it wasn't, and there's again something that you want to ask that you were not able to ask in public, or you're just not able to join at the moment, please let me know in my inbox. I'm just gonna paste here the referral type form. Shane also asked if you already covered this. In case you haven't, do you ever give feedbacks and ideas prior to someone starting the program? We don't give necessarily feedback because, again, we don't know everything and we don't know how your idea is going to progress. We can talk about it, but we won't necessarily shoot down your idea from the get-go. We will just discuss and help you think your idea through. Raul asked, how about if someone from EF cohort referred someone? But as in how? So our referrals, we usually like to think that brilliant people know brilliant people. So we pay close attention to our referrals. Doesn't mean that, of course, a referral has a higher chance of getting in, but we do pay close attention to the people that are referred to us for sure. Shane, again, I know you just popped in, but let me know if you have any more questions. Raul, I'm not sure if that was what you were trying to ask, but for sure, if you refer someone, we pay a little bit more attention to them, especially if it's someone that has already done the cohort. One last question for James. Doesn't have to be the last one. If you don't speak Chinese, will it be an issue to complete EF in Hong Kong? No, it is not an issue. As we see in Paris, speaking French is not a problem to do EF. The programs are run in English, all of them. So yes, you can still be in EF Paris or EF Bangalore or EF Hong Kong without speaking the actual language. Shane's going to follow up by email with questions. Pleasure. If we believe we'll be having at some point in the near future an actual open office in London. So if we do, I will let everyone know. I will send an email to everyone with a GDPR opt-in. So please also opt in so I am able to keep chatting with everyone. I am just asking the Paris team when their next open office will be, because I know there are some people interested in Paris. They don't have a specific date yet, but if they do, when they do, I will definitely forward that to everyone. I hope this was helpful to all 7 of you who are still watching. Please, again, follow up with any more questions. Please refer someone that you think would be amazing, that you would like to start a company with, and you think would be great in the cohort as well. I hope that's it, everyone. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, Max. Again, if anybody needs any more answers, please follow up by email. Applications for all of our cohorts are open. European cohorts close their applications. Early application, which is probably your best chance at getting in, close on December 31st. I don't have the specific date for our Asian cohorts, but it's not that far off. So apply, and I'm looking forward to following your progress and receiving your applications. So thank you, everyone. If there's no more questions, going once, going twice. Wonderful. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for all your questions. This was fantastic. You all have my email. Please let me know if there's anything else that I haven't covered. Thank you, everyone, and have a great morning, evening to all of you guys in the different locations. And thanks for tuning in from London.